Hey guys, Reed here. Back with my Dark Souls playthrough. Unfortunately, the audio for this, I redid some of my stuff to try and get some better quality, but it ended up turning out terrible, just absolutely terrible. So I'm doing this after the fact because the recording I actually made was completely terrible. The plan today was to go fight Seath. But if you were paying close attention in the last episode, you might find a flaw in that, and you'll see why. I remember here I was talking about how there's some of this, like, just some Twinkling Titanite, some Demon Titanite hanging out here. I'm actually holding my microphone, like, right up close, so hopefully it'll get some good audio quality. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I might have to go back to the old setup, but this is a lot easier, and I think it reduces the, oh, well, there's the orange fog. So, I was like, oh, damn it. Whatever, we'll go kill Seth. So, that's the plan for next, is just go and kill Seth. Anyways, this is a long video today. I apologize for that. I'm also holding my microphone, so hopefully I'll get some good quality on this. I don't know, not much to talk about, honestly. Dark Souls 2, why don't we talk about that a little bit? Comes out in March, if you don't know. The one big difference, I think, to a lot of fans of the first Dark Souls, and possibly even Demon Souls, is that Miyazaki is no longer the head director or overseeing, or not overseeing, but he's not the head person in charge anymore. It's I think it's Yui Tanimura and one other guy whose name I can't really remember, but he's kind of been in... Yui Tanimura has been in the spotlight more. He's been in all the conventions showing off the game with the guy from Bandai Namco. So obviously, just from the get-go, you can probably already tell that there's going to be some, a little bit differences. Not completely the same, but at the same time, it hopefully shouldn't be too far off, and I completely missed that jump there, and that was kind of embarrassing, but I did make that one, so I felt pretty good about that. Anyways, yeah, so if you haven't heard anything about it, the main sort of story, it's a continuation of Dark Souls, but not... It's directly linked to Dark Souls, but not a continuation, if that makes any sense. So, I'm not completely, up to speed on everything that we know about it. I'm trying to kind of keep myself a little bit sheltered from everything. But, so, what was I talking about? Oh, wow, I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, so I don't know everything that's, what's been announced and everything. I do know, I've watched most of the trailers. I haven't checked out the Mirror Knight boss fight at all, so I don't even know about that. But it looks like the controls are going to be very similar, but with some minor to major differences, I guess you'd say. One of the things that's going to be definitely different is that rolling, you no longer really circle whoever you're locked onto. You kind of just roll in your standard 4 sort of directions. Excuse me. And yeah. Some other things, you can shoot a bow while moving. That's pretty neat. You can heal while moving. Such as drinking Estus and using these new life crystal things, which kind of look like humanity but aren't humanity. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. But I think this was a long time ago that they said this. It's gonna be open world, but I don't know. I mean, I guess you could say that Dark Souls, the first one, is open world, but really it's kind of not. I mean, it's more of like a linear open world, if that makes any sense. It's like a the 3D Metroidvania is probably the best way to put it. So it's open, but at the same time, it's it's a little bit closed in. Yeah. So, the main classes that they've shown off in the demos, at least, are there's a dual swordsman, or just a swordsman, a temple knight sort of guy, like in Demon Souls, if you ever played that game, just a warrior, which is like your standard knight. He has the sort of title armor, I guess you'd say, and there was, oh, what was the other? There was a mage, like a sorcerer mage, and those are the 4 classes that you've been able to play from in the demo. They've shown off I don't know about a lot of spells, but they've shown off a good deal of spells, and they've talked about how weapon upgrades work. Spells, it sounds like you'll be able to charge up some spells to increase their power. And there's a ton of new spells, like there's a sort of like an ice, or not ice sword, but like a magic sword, so you like slash with your catalyst and it shoots out a big blade. There's your standard, one thing, fire magic is now paired with sorceries, so I don't know, make of that what you will. I don't know how that's gonna play out, but that's interesting. I don't think they had too much in terms of buffs, but don't want to show everything. Let's see here. Weapon upgrades. They talked about how... Oh, that guy clipped me. Barely. Weapon upgrades, they talked about how you'll be able to throw an element onto your weapon on top of your regular upgrades, I think it was. Something similar to that. So it's not going to be the same as it is now, where it's like you choose, normal magic, divine, cult, lightning, fire. Sounds like it's going to be more like you can do normal and then throw fire element onto your weapon as an upgrade path. I don't know how that's going to work, or if honestly that's even going to get changed, but it's kind of exciting. I don't know. I'm very excited for this game. I don't know, it kind of sounds like I'm ragging on it maybe, but I'm really looking forward to it. I think it looks great, except for one of my gripes was when in the trailer they have of gameplay, the warrior shoots an enemy with his bow, and it sort of makes this like weird explosion-y sort of thing. I really disliked that, and I thought it looked a little bit cartoony almost. So hopefully that's not like an indicator of how certain effects are going to look, but everything else looks amazing. I'm very excited. Comes out March 2014, so less than a year away. I just can't wait. One other thing is there's no more games for Windows Live, like the PC version of Dark Souls has, which this is. So that's gonna be incredible. It's just gonna use Steam. So, and there's also servers for multiplayer, so that should reduce like a lot of the lag, as well as just be incredibly nice in general. Yeah, I'm not really too much of a lore guy, so I'm not going to talk about that really at all. But if you are, I'm certain they've talked a little bit about it. But yeah, it looks very, very. It's gonna be a great game. I can tell right now. They've changed up a lot of things, but at the same time, it seems fresh. It's fresh, but the same. It's like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich where you put peanut butter on top or jelly on top, whichever. Mix it up. So yeah, that's a Dark Souls 2. A little bit of chat on that. Regular Dark Souls, I don't know. There's speedruns and stuff. Nothing much, really going on as a whole, to be completely honest. Like, I don't know. The PC version is, for online at least, is, very barren. Very, very barren. Actually, I kind of forgot that I was, not playing. Oh, I paused my video. Oh well. Just need to make a note it's 28:56. That's when I have to stop. So, hold on here. Community. I'm checking Steam to see how many people are actually playing it right now. Actually, no. It's just... Oh, here we go. There's 3,000... Oh, wow. There's a lot of people in game. Huh. That's very odd. Oh, let's see. It's 8 o'clock on a Friday? That's pretty good. Yeah. I don't know. When let's see here, in the fall, it was around 1,000 people. maybe 2,000 at like peak hours. So I think the summer sale brought in a lot of new, just people and stuff. That's very exciting. I didn't really know that. Now that I do, that's kind of nice. It's actually very, very nice. Yeah. One thing that is kind of a bummer about Dark Souls is there's no trading cards for it yet, so I can't sell those or get the badge for it or anything. Oh well. Yeah, I'll just give you a spoiler alert. In this video, we take on 4 kings, and I killed them. Badass. I'm just kidding, but it's kind of weird just, sitting here talking by myself in my room alone. Can't watch TV or anything, so it's not like I can't just kind of absentmindedly ramble. I have to actually be thinking about things. But hopefully this audio turns out pretty good, since I'm just holding the microphone and not really, I don't have it fixed in one position. So this is going to be probably the worst episode of the series. Just a heads up. If you want to stop watching now, that's fine. And there's a pretty good 4 kings kill. It gets a little bit boring towards the end because I kind of switch back into not really recording mode and just talk about and I just kind of go into standard play mode, I guess you'd say. Yeah, I don't know, not a whole lot to talk about. I'm playing a lot of Monster Hunter. That's a fun game. I wish I had a 3DS capture card, because I would definitely record a ton of stuff for that game. But alas, I'm not. I just don't have the money or the desire. I mean, I go to college in about a little more than a month, so it's not too worth it for me, to be completely honest. But that's a very fun game. It's similar to Dark Souls, if you've never played before, in that, big weapons are slow, and it's not very forgiving, but the Monster Hunter Tri-Ultimate, that's the newest one, it's a lot easier than some of the older ones. Freedom Unite was probably the peak in terms of both difficulty and like variety, I guess you'd say. Like, there's definitely more. That has the most monsters. I mean, I guess besides Frontier, which is the MMO version, but it has the most most monsters. I think the most weapons and gear, and it's a very fun game, but it's definitely a lot rougher than 3 Ultimate. Just gonna throw that out there. It's also for PSP, and 3 Ultimate's for both Wii U and 3DS. But with the Wii U, you can play online, like, with people around the world, which is incredibly nice. I wish I had a Wii U. I unfortunately don't have 3DS. But 3DS is only local, so I don't know. If you're thinking about buying it, there's my pitch for it. It's fun. It's great fun with friends. It's probably one of the best co-op games that I've ever played. That's kind of a big, like, I don't know. It's big shoes to fill. That makes no sense at all, but oh well. So, I don't know, I've been thinking about a lot of games recently, and at least this summer there's not a lot coming out, but that's pretty typical of the summer. Not a whole lot of games came out. Pikmin 3 came out. I never played that, so I said before. But yeah, next year is very exciting because there's Dark Souls. Oh, also another thing I completely forgot about, and has kind of seems like it's just been forgotten about entirely, is this rumored Demon Souls 2 sequel. It's rumored in the sense that it's shown up on like a PS4 sort of like announced games list, almost like a expected lineup sort of thing. That's very exciting to me, honestly. I mean, I played Demon Souls before it was released in America. I got the Asian version, which was really just the Chinese version, but it had English text and English voices. It was very fun, and it really got me turned on to this game. And it probably had the better New Game Plus, which is one of my gripes with Dark Souls, actually, is the New Game Plus in Dark Souls is like, it's like a 1.5 increase, whereas Demon Souls, it's like you're playing the whole game over, but it's like you're starting a new character. It's incredibly difficult, and it's incredibly fun. And also the world tendency was really neat. I just wish it wasn't so freaking confusing or so hard to deal with, because like the way it worked, I actually really hope it makes a return in Dark Souls 2. That would be amazing. Or at least character tendency does. I'll get to that later. The way it worked in Demon Souls was when you kill a boss, or when you first start the game, all your worlds are like neutral, and they can get to, I think, +3 or +2 to light, or -2 to dark. And to get to light, you'd have to kill a boss, and that gives you like a 1 boost up. And to get to dark, you'd have to either die in human form, or like body form, I guess you'd say. It's pretty much human in this game. Body, and one other thing that I can't quite remember. Maybe killing NPC. No, that was character. I don't remember the other thing to get to black. Maybe it was just dying in body form. But the thing that was unique about Demon Souls, for me at least, was that at the beginning of the game you start as a human in the tutorial, and you have your full life bar. But once you initially die, spoilers, I guess it's not really spoilers, but you die and then you get resurrected in soul form. And what soul form gives you is you get half your life points. It's like being cursed, and that's, boom, half your life points. But, well, there's a ring that gives you plus 25% more, so you have 75% of your life. But you can use an item, or when you kill a boss, you return to body form. Like, you get your body back. And when you're in body form, it's like being human in Dark Souls. You can summon people, you can get invaded, and you have your full life bar. So, beyond the sort of balance that there is in Dark Souls, just sort of staying in undead form until you need to summon someone, it's similar to that in Demon Souls, but at the same time, there's this great, like, risk-reward. Like, you get your full life, but if you die, well, you have to get all your souls and stuff, which was kind of revolutionary, I'd say, at the time, to be completely honest. And then you get down to 50% of your life, but you could also be invaded. Oh, I don't know. It's one of those games, if you haven't played it, you really should. You should pick it up. It's a lot of fun. It's similar. It's made by the same people from Software, and it's made by the same guy who made Dark Souls also, but there's no real connection. For a while, when Dark Souls came out, I was like, oh, it's just because Sony owns the Demon Souls rights that they can't, explicitly say that they're connected, but they totally are. No, they're not. It's just, like, there'll be a reference, like Patches appeared in the first one, doing a similar thing that he does in Dark Souls. Some of the weapons, I think, appear, not explicitly. Oh, the Uchigatana shows up, I know that for a fact. The Chaos Blade shows up as, I think, Hiltless, that's what it was called. But the one, bad thing about Demon Souls is that each class of weapon sort of has the same moveset. So other weapons get very, very outclassed. Like, there's the longsword, and then there's the knight sword, and the knight sword's similar to, like, the silver knight sword, I guess you'd say. And actually, they're really similar now I think about that. So like, the knight sword's obviously just, better than the longsword, but at the same time, they have the same moveset, so there's no real reason to use the longsword once you find a knight sword and upgrade it. Some other things that kind of sucked about Demon Souls was the upgrade system. It was really funky, and the crystal lizards to get, like, the rare stones and the, like, full sort of like slabs, I guess you'd say, of the upgrade stones were incredibly difficult to both catch and then retrieve. Like, in this game, when a crystal lizard disappears, it comes back when you either reload the game or come back to the area. Pretty much when you reload that area. In Demon Souls, each world started with one like spawn of every crystal lizard in the area, and then when you kill a boss, you get another spawn, and when you kill another boss, you get another spawn. You get 3 to 4, depending on how many levels there were in each stage. You get 4 spawns of a crystal lizard, and those all have a chance to drop, you know, like, sort of each area's special ore, I guess you'd say. Like, the later area ones, they'd always drop the, like, chunks and slabs. If you were lucky, that is. But the thing was, if you missed it, it didn't reset the counter, so it's like, oh, you missed it, oh well. It was like, you missed it, there's your one, like, counter for that down. So, say you missed that crystal lizard the first time through, it's gone. That's it. It's just gone. But, I mean, it was very poorly executed. Another thing that was really bad about it was that, like, every time when you killed one, you wouldn't just get the item into your inventory. That was similar to how it was when Dark Souls first came out also, which was kind of really sucked, because especially, I think it's the fourth area, it was like a cliffside sort of area, similar to, what is it? It's similar to a Darkroot Basin almost, like that sort of like switchbacks and like narrow paths along a cliff, and they could easily just roll off, and you lost your items even though you killed the crystal lizard, and that still counts against your stuff. So it kind of really sucked. The one nice thing about Demon Souls, it was much faster. That was very interesting about it. Like, it I don't know how to describe it beyond. It was like arcadey almost, sort of like I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's like when you play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in like the arcade, and then you play it at home. Like, obviously, at home it's a little bit easier since you can just keep playing, but at the same time, I don't know how to describe it. It just felt arcadey to me. That was poor. Just ignore what I just said. Yeah, it felt a little bit arcadey, and it's faster. It's very, like, not fast-paced, but like you move faster. Enemies attack much quicker. It feels like all your moves. Oh, that is one thing that I really, really miss about Dark Souls. The Longsword R2 was, in my opinion, the coolest move in the game. Like, in this game, it's just a standard, like, stab forward where you kind of don't really lunge, really, but you, like, stretch out a little bit. In Demon Souls, that is, you did this, like, running hop, and, like, you, like, it was so cool. It was so cool, and it was good. And I liked it. One thing I do like about Dark Souls over Demon Souls, though, is the way they handled equipment. Because in Demon Souls, equipment used to work like it did pre-patch with the Darkwood Grain Ring, where if you had 50% of your, or you were under 50% of your weight, you could just fast roll, and, you know, whatever. If you were over, you do a fat roll, and then if you were over your max weight, you just walk. That was really neat, in my opinion. Like, well, actually, no. I liked fast rolling, but there was no real reason to not fast roll, so to speak. Like, it's sort of how it is in Dark Souls now, where, like, once you get used to the fast roll, a medium roll, besides in, like, PvP, or a fat roll even, is just, how do I don't even know what to do anymore. Like, it's just much better. One of the things that Demon Souls did do not very well, though, was, like I said, New Game Plus was like a whole new experience, but armor fell off incredibly quickly. Like, you beat the game, you couldn't upgrade armor. That's the first thing. Like, you beat the game, and then you'd have your armor that you beat the game with. You'd have all your equipment and all your stuff. And then you'd get there, or you get to the next new game, and you realize, like, there's no reason for me to wear this heavy armor since everything kills me in like 2 hits no matter what. I might as well just use the lightest armor that I can and then just stock up on my weapons. And I think that really kind of hurt the game, along with the fact that if you weren't playing online a lot, there was no reason to be in body form, and as such, if you're always in soul form, there's the ring that gave you plus 25% more of your max HP. It was like a must-have. It was essentially like the ring of favor and protection is now almost, but there was no reason not to have it if you were always in soul form, and that was kind of a bummer. And you could also cheese the game really easily if you used another ring called the Thief Ring, which was similar to the Fog Ring in Dark Souls, but it sort of just it made enemies not target you from far away, and at the same time it just made everything much easier to sort of take in, so to speak. Like, you'd be able to just like, not really run through enemies, but you could easily like pick one out of a group and it would run towards you. You kill it, pick another one out, you kind of just lure them all towards you, take them off one by one. And obviously that wasn't really the intended way. And I think, I don't know, maybe this was just me that like played this way, but when I played it, I kind of just cheesed the whole game like that, and it was disgusting. Another thing is, even though the New Game Plus was really hard, if you're trying to get all the achievements, you kind of had to have like a perfect game to like get through everything. I think I'm going to sign off now because I don't really want to run over my video here. So if you liked the video, you know, I'm sorry about this one. It just didn't turn out how I wanted it to. If you're listening this long, thank you a lot, and I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the video. I think there's only like 30 seconds left, so oh well. But yeah, enjoy the video. If you actually like this sort of me just talking, you know, tell me, let me know, and I'll make more. I'm always open to that. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.
Greeting, but look, with I unknown you and very. This is Gwyn's prison.